Security officials say all the time that show me a 10-meter wall and I'll show you an 11-meter ladder. Short sections of fencing with lots of guards can be effective at preventing movement, but over a much longer distance, and many borders are quite long. If there's no one there actually guarding it, border walls are not very effective. When you visit any of these fences, when you first get there, it seems very imposing. It's intimidating, but then you'll come across discarded ladders beside the fence. You'll see the footprints of people who've climbed up the wall. People can go around them, or they can go over them, or in many cases, they can go under them with a tunnel. But countries around the world have been building these walls on their borders. In 1989, when the Berlin Wall came down, there were only 15 border walls, whereas today there's 70 of them. Norway has built a border wall on its border with Russia. So 3/4 of the border walls that have been built in the last 25 years during the era of globalization. I've been studying borders for 15 years. Historically, borders played a role in terms of military protection, but today the United States is not worried that Mexico is going to invade the United States. It's a symbol that the government is doing something. It's very much targeting undocumented people who are trying to move through these places. Borders have become much more the lines where states filter the types of people and goods that they want to come into their states. The types of walls can vary dramatically. Even within a single country, the type of material they use can vary. At the U.S. Mexico border, in the urban areas, it's a big fence, 6 meter high, that is strong enough to prevent a truck driving 100 kilometers an hour smashing into it. But in other areas, they often only have vehicle barriers. Other places, it's barbed wire or concertina wire. The most secure looking borders are the ones in Israel. People know that India and Pakistan have difficult relations, but India also fenced its border with Bangladesh. It's a 4,000 kilometer border, and about 3,500 kilometers of that is fenced. And although the European Union is certainly the deadliest border in the world in terms of the total number of deaths, there are not that many deaths where border agents themselves actually kill someone who's moving through that space. At the India-Bangladesh border, in the past 15 years, there have been over 1,000 killings by the Indian Border Security Force of Bangladeshi civilians. India did suffer a number of violent attacks through the 2000s, and so the Indian Border Security Force has been given the authority to be the front line against terrorist infiltrations into India. And so the Border Security Force was given shoot-to-kill orders if they perceived there was a terrorist infiltration happening. It's a border that used to be completely open. People on both sides speak the same language, have a long cultural history as Bengali, and so they have family on both sides of the border and historically crossed very easily through this space. So the hardening of this border and the imposition of the security apparatus there has had a very devastating effect. Building fences and walls, politicians often say that it's going to deter people from coming. But the claim that walls are a deterrent is not accurate. People still try to come, but they have to find alternate ways to make that trip. As it becomes harder to cross in particular places, migrants are often funneled to ever more dangerous routes to cross a border. And the result of that has been a lot more deaths at borders.